Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to another GR Live. It's me, I'm back. And yeah, as you can see from the previous graphic, today we're going to be looking at a bit of F1 Manager 2023. Or F1 Manager 23 as the game seems to call itself, despite the fact that it's called 2023, which is unusual. But anyway, yeah, we're going to be playing the first sort of hour of the game. I say first sort of hour of the game. There's a lot of different things you can do in F1 Manager 2023. You know, it's a simulation game. There's not necessarily like a proper sort of campaign necessarily to follow. So I think we might spend today looking at some of the race replay things, the scenario, the scenario situations that puts you in the shoes of sort of real F1 teams in occasions that have happened in the real Formula One calendar this year, and attempting to sort of flip the script a little bit. So I think that's what we might do today. But anyway, enough of me waffling on. Let's get into the actual gameplay. So yes, this is F1 Manager 23, or 2023 as it's supposed to be called. And this is like me. I've played a bit of this game before as part of preview sessions in the past. But this is my first time really playing the sort of launch build of it. So this is quite an interesting one. This is probably what we're going to be doing today, the exclusive scenarios thing. Because I think this is a really interesting feature that they've added into the game here, or into the series, should we say. So I think we're going to do that. So, there's a lot of scenarios here that are pre-order scenarios. Then there's actual exclusive scenarios here. This is the one that I have been able to experience in the past. Part of a preview one, the one where you have to play as Alonso and try and get him to win Monaco. But there's also Equal Performance Silverstone, which is, I guess, seeing who will win Silverstone if every car's on equal performance. I'm guessing this is something to do with being a Red Bull and trying to win from the back or something. A lot of different things that we can do here. Because Silverstone is the best track in the world, no, not even a marginal bit of bias there. I think we're going to do that. I think we're going to do a bit of Silverstone. I'm just going to knock down the music volume even further a little bit. I don't know whether it's as loud for you guys as it is for me, but it's definitely feels quite loud. So, this is the British Grand Prix, Silverstone Circuit, Equal Performance Silverstone. When the lights go out, experience the whole race under unique circumstances when your chosen team, with your chosen team, to see where your strategy takes you. Finish with the best result possible. With all cars at equal performance, race results will be down to your driver skill and the race and the strategy you execute. At Silverstone, a track with open corners and plenty of room to race, overtaking and defending ability will be put to the test. So let's do it. We could do this as like a Williams, right? We could do this as a Williams or an AlphaTauri or something like that from the and see how that goes on equal performance. But if every team is on the same sort of level, then I'm going to play as the team that I like, which is Mercedes. So, home team, well, home drivers, home Grand Prix. Yes. And we're going to go from there.
Race day has arrived.
It's Crofty.
Has almost come for these drivers to fight it out.
Round one. It's a one-round season.
Silverstone is certainly a circuit rich in Formula One history. From Giuseppe Farina winning the first championship race held here in 1950, right through to Lewis Hamilton's 2008 masterclass on racing in the rain. And the sun is
that Gunter Steiner on my screen?
This is perfect weather.
To be fair, that's a compliment and a half right there. Gunter is... Gunter's one of the best personalities in Formula 1, straight up. Like that. Drivers can move aside. We need more time with Gunter on the screen. I read his book, actually, a couple of weeks ago. Really good read. Definitely worth checking out. But anyway, so... Can't see. Mic is in front of my screen. So, we have race preparation here. So, the idea is to obviously win the race. So Lewis is starting in 17th, George is starting in 13th. So I'm guessing equal performance, but the grid is inverted by the sounds of things. Which is interesting. Okay, so... Well, if Lewis is starting at the back, you kind of want him to start on hards, really. And I don't know, maybe if we've got the mediums to spare, maybe we'll have George on the medium, see if he can jump up a little bit, and whereas Lewis will try and make him go long and see if that strategy will work instead. So, do we have the medium tyres to do, the soft tyres to do that? I mean, we do technically have them. From the back of the grid, do we go with a really aggressive strategy like that, where we go soft, medium, soft for George? I think we will. And then I think with Lewis, I think we'll go with Lewis and we'll go with the medium-hard strategy instead, actually. Try and one-stop it with Lewis and two-stop it with George and see who gets to the end quicker. We're in Parc Ferme, so we can't fiddle with the car. The car's set up. Everything's set to optimal, so... Oh, again, you know, everyone's on equal footing, so I can't fiddle with the car. Adjustments are limited. I can't really do anything there. Yeah. He's 100% confident of this one here, so we won't tweak that. We won't tweak that. We can tweak all of this in the race, so that's not a problem. And otherwise, I guess we just crack on. We got our strategies. Two-stopper, one-stopper. Let's head to the track.
The British Grand Prix is nearly upon us. The drivers composing themselves on the grid.
Yeah, Williams on pole.
52 laps
AlphaTauri
around Silverstone.
coming up in second.
Nick De Vries certainly has
McLaren
the
somehow
potential
at the back,
to show
which,
his
you know,
worth.
doesn't really stand up these days because
It's a
McLaren's
P2
really
start
good
for
again.
them. An excellent opportunity, and no doubt they'll be looking to grab it with both hands.
Yeah, and that's Nick De Vries and not Daniel
But
Ricciardo.
just what will happen here, your guess is as good as mine.
Okay.
Anticipation is high, and the drivers are ready for this. The British Grand Prix. It's lights out.
All right,
and away we go.
we're off. We're off. Actually, before it gets a little bit busy, let me just knock down the audio again a little bit. I don't know why, but it feels really loud. Maybe it's not as loud to you guys as to me, but I think it's the car engine that was really loud. Is it equal performance on both cars and drivers or cars only? I think it's only cars that the equal performance is on. So, right now we're following George. Nothing's really happened. Oh, George has... No, he got up a position, then lost a position. Oh, he's up to 12. Okay, so... That's a good start for George. I don't want to blow my tyres out or, you know, run out of fuel. So we'll just cruise along as we are right now. With the soft tyres, George should be able to hopefully... Yeah, George should be able to hopefully get something out of that. Lewis has dropped a position to Sergio, which isn't good, but, you know, long race.
Yeah, there's nothing I can do.
Yeah, Lewis ain't happy about that. First person camera right now, going through Maggots and Beckett's and all that, into Chapel. Let's try and get like a different view here. Let's go back and see what Lewis is up to. He is under a lot of pressure from the Ferrari and the Red Bull right now. I could get him to deploy a bit of his battery. What on earth? What on earth just happened then?
We've had a crash on track.
What just happened then?
And the contact between the cars, inevitable. And that won't do their confidence any good.
Why is it always George that crashes?
And clearly then, not what everyone in the garage would have wanted to see.
Why is it always George that crashes?
Are all the tyres on? Something doesn't feel right.
He's gone past the pit entry as well. Oh, I can make this decision in a minute. Alright, he's lost it. He's lost a thing, so I need to pit him. Right, we're changing strategy here then. We're going to go to hards instead because we need to do that. This lap.
so
Yeah.
active box.
And you might as well go mega aggressive and just blow the tyres to smithereens.
Push and get past him.
As for Lewis, down in 18th. You might as well deploy a bit of battery here, Lewis, so...
Use the
Yeah, at least he got away. I don't know how he managed to get away, but it's always George that crashes for some reason. What's going on with the aerodynamics here? The front wing has received minor damage, but I can't change it by the looks of things because of the scenario we're playing. You know, I don't know whether he actually... I think he got away with it, you know. I think the tyres are fine. But that means I do need to bring that back down to stand, otherwise he's going to blow the tyres over, so...
Reduce your speed. DRS has been enabled.
Lewis is having an absolute mare at the back right now. Use your DRS, Lewis, come on. Not DRS, use your ERS. So this seems like it's a race that's going to be like really defined by pit stops, right? Let's speed up a little bit. It's a long race. Put a little bit of distance between the Ferrari now, so we should be all right there. About half a second. He's hunting down Checo, which is good. He actually doesn't have... I don't know whether he had DRS open then. Piastri's out. What's he done? What's he done?
Now there's the car of Piastri. Oh, all right so far.
What did he
The
do?
brakes couldn't cope, and they'll need to be mindful of the effect that had on the tyres.
Okay. So Piastri's dropped all the way down now to last. Lewis got around him, which is good. He's round the back of Checo, and hopefully he can keep pushing on him. George is hunting down Ocon. George has got a really healthy gap now as well between him and Fernando, which is good. Yeah, I don't know how he managed to do that. It's funny, isn't it, as well, how you give every car equal performance and then you get one of these really, really nasty DRS trains. Like, it's real grim. Alright, George, this lap, I want you to... I think I might save his battery until the in-lap. And then we'll blow it all. How is Lando down here as well? Did he start down there? Right, let's speed up a little bit more a minute and just get a little bit through the Grand Prix moment. Until we see George's tyres at the point where they need to come in, I think, because, you know, it's a long race. Once they get to about 60%. Charles went around Lewis, but we'll have a look at that in a moment. It's not that hot a day, so the tyres are hanging on quite well. Right. So, Lewis, you're going to be going for a while still on these tyres, so use your ERS a little bit. The warning sign on Gasly, I think that's because of his crash, maybe. Maybe he's got some damage somewhere. Alonso's about to do George.
Oh, really?
I think we can start pushing these tyres a little bit now, George.
There's a yellow flag now.
Crash involving
replay.
multiple cars.
And it was involving Leclerc this time.
Leclerc and Lewis.
Dangerously close to each other. Has to be said, that was pretty risky. And there'll be more than one unhappy team after that.
I don't really know.
Definitely feel like I got some damage.
So Lewis has got damage. Why are they all crashing on that
Lewis
one
will look
corner?
into that. It looks like we've got that.
Oh, what's Bono's that say?
Let's push on hard. Close up to him.
So let's have a look. It says I got minor front wing damage again. That's going to be much of a problem. I wonder if they think. I wonder if the red means then that they were the instigators of the crash. Or, you know, they've been warned for their incidents. I don't know. I'm not sure about that.
Just stay close to him. Push and hold, overtake.
Alright.
Copy.
Let's have a look. So George, we're looking to bring George in around sort of lap 13. The idea for Lewis is to get him to go all the way to like lap 23, 24. I don't know whether we'll be able to keep that up. I think it's only minor damage to the front wing, and it doesn't look like it's affecting him too much right now, so let's have him go a bit aggressive.
Just keep the pressure on Lewis. You can do this.
Might be able to get Max here if he puts his foot down. Yeah, I think it could be a 1 as well. I think that's what it's about. If you just keep the pressure on now, follow them through Maggots and Beckett's and all that, then you can do them on the hanger straight. DRS open, he shouldn't stand a chance. Same with... Did Georgie get Alonso? No. There we go. Oh, he's got the outside line though.
So we are low on battery at the moment.
Yeah, go back to neutral. Same with you. We got past Alonso. Got past Perez. I'm going to switch that down to aggressive. We want him to be aggressive, but I don't want him to like blow his tyres out.
Good, Nick.
Understood.
Him down to standard because he's going to be coming into pit in a moment.
If we could just drop back a bit.
Alright, copy that.
He might still have the pace to get around thingy. You can use your ERS, but keep your tyres in good working order. Go back down to standard
Yeah, we
there.
just need to make sure that we don't fall off a cliff on that tyre. Okay.
You'd think, I mean, there's a massive DRS train, so maybe George won't be able to get around Ocon here. So look, see if he can do him. Barely making any distance to him. Although, to be fair, the two guys in front that are fighting does mean that George might have an opener here if he takes the inside line. This guy's weaving all over this corner, though.
It's not going to be long now, mate.
Copy.
Yeah, time to pit now. So we're going to bring him in, put him on some mediums this lap. Car parts. I could switch over the wing, but I just don't think I need to. I don't think it's that bad. So we'll switch to the mediums. If it's really bad, later in the race we can always switch to the wing, I guess. But right now I don't think it's that important.
Box.
You to neutral.
Yes, box.
Lewis is looking like he's in a bit of a trouble, to be honest here. So he's going to have a hard time keeping these Red Bulls behind him.
So you can pick up the pace.
Understood.
All we need to do with Lewis is just keep these Red Bulls behind him and we might be alright. The race strategy said that we're bringing in around sort of 10 laps time. It's a penalty. That's what it means. There we go, Fox. It's a penalty. So you got a 5-second penalty for a clap. Yeah, okay. They both got 5-second penalties for hitting my drivers. They didn't really look like it was their fault, particularly in that situation, but, you know, it doesn't matter. As long as it wasn't me getting penalised. Really could do with Lewis catching up with Gasly and Sainz in front just to get the DRS. They're battling, so hopefully they can slow each other down a bit. George is in the pit. He's going to come out dead last, but that's by design.
Yeah, we should be clear on exit.
Yeah, then we can give him a really aggressive outlap. Once that goes in the 1 second sort of period, then we can tell Lewis to ease off on his tyres a little bit. Right. Well, what I don't want to do is burn him in too much, actually, thinking about it. I'd rather him to just use them. And he's going to nurse these tyres all the way till lap 35-ish. So let's speed this up a little bit again. So we'll speed up a little bit and try and get to sort of lap... I don't know. Let's see if we can get up to like lap 17 or something like that. No, 18 maybe. George got around Piastri, which is good. He's making good time. Lewis lost places to both the Red Bulls somehow. Which isn't good. Trying to think what I can do with Lewis here. Maybe I'll bring him in. Before he gets to the pits here. Trying to think, if we do... We bend that one off and we switch that to softs. And then add a new stint and go to softs again. We switch that to like lap 38, so that'd be 15 laps. Well, that'd be 17 laps on either soft then. If he comes in on lap 21. That'd be a 120. Alright, let me just create that strategy. That says a 120.14, that's a 120.18. I'm going to go with this one. Well, my problem is that Lewis is really struggling to do anything at the moment. And I think with this style where every car's on the exact same you kind of want to lean on your drivers to do their thing. So I'm thinking if I give him aggressive tyres and just tell him just like blow them out, right? You know, just destroy the tyres, just race the car off its wheels. I mean, that's what I got George doing. So maybe we'll just commit to it and just see what happens and see if and see what happens. I mean, he's coming in anyway. Yeah, what's that, like lap 24? I think you could do with going to the top up bit as well. Get the bit of juice back. George is burning through his battery as well, so maybe I'll switch him to that.
Charge the pack.
Yeah, agree.
It's going to be interesting to see what times people put up and how far George goes up the rankings, up the leaderboard, should we say, or whatever, when other people come into pit. Right, let's fast forward it a little bit again. Let's get to like lap sort of, I'm not sure, sort of 18. He just got overtaken by Leclerc. Maybe I need to replace Lewis's wing when he comes in. Maybe it's really that bad. It doesn't look it. It's missing. It's like missing an end plate there. Alright, I'm pulling the trigger. I'm bringing him in early. I'm going to switch him to hards. I'm going to have him replace the front wing this lap. Because
Box.
he's not getting any value out of what he's doing, so...
In the box is that.
Right. And he's gonna be dead last. It's funny because it doesn't... The crash didn't really look that bad at all, did it?
Sorry,
And actually,
Chris.
looking at it, George is missing a front wing as well. My God, I've had an absolutely terrible look
You'll be all clear on exit.
with Ferraris crashing into me, I guess. We can be a little bit aggressive with the fuel, I think, because we got a lot of it saved up. It's interesting how it hasn't really changed. Like, the only thing that's really changed is the McLarens, right? Because Piastri been in it. Norris had an issue as well, actually. But the standards haven't really changed. Sainz is having a pretty good run of it, actually. He's up in 11th. Although I think George was about above Alonso, wasn't he? So maybe when everyone else pits, George will jump up to sort of like here. It's going to be interesting. The tyres aren't really warming up very well here, so I'm going to tell Lewis to be a bit aggressive.
Let's push.
Try and get them into the working temperature. Right, let's speed up the race a little bit. We got a lot of laps to go, so let's speed it up for a little while and just see what happens. Bottas runs wide. Gasly comes into pit. Lewis sets the fastest lap. Back to balanced on these two here before they run out of battery. Lewis's tyres are fine now. If anything, they're overheating, so we're going to drop them back to pace. I think this can go back to neutral as well because they're generating loads of thing. Russell's now up to 9th. Lewis isn't really getting anywhere, but George is up to 8th now, believe it or not. He has dropped down 1. Alright. Now, George has got about another 8 laps on these tyres before we switch him on to softs for the rest of the race. Although that is a long stint though, right? That's, what, 12? It's like a 16-lap stint on softs. I think I want to extend that a little bit, if anything. I'm assuming that these 3, well 4 actually, haven't pit yet. And they're running real long. Use your battery, use your fuel, George. We got a bit of that saved up. Lewis, do the same, I guess, for a moment. His race is absolutely over. He's got nothing to give. Our hopes and dreams are all on the back of George Russell. Thinking. Oh, they ran out of battery.
So discharge that pack.
Yeah, back to balance some
Understood.
fuel as well. Don't want to blow that out. Speed the race up a little bit.
Here we've got a yellow flag.
Sugar. Yeah, I'm okay, I'm okay.
Hey,
Well,
Sam.
that's not what we want. That's just a driver error more than anything by the looks of things, isn't it? I think we need to pit him now, because otherwise he's not going to make it to the end of the race. I guess we'll put mediums on again, because it's quite a long stint. He's at the back of the pack. Do I just stick a new wing on as well at this point, just to see if it does anything for him? I think we do. I don't think I selected it all, did I? His tyres are going to be so, like, ruined at this point that he needs to pit.
Box.
Yeah, stop.
You might as well run these tyres off the
Let's push and get
off
past
the
it.
ground now. This has gone horribly. I've had a collision on both my drivers. One of my drivers has spun off. I had a bad pit stop on the other. Like, this has been a disaster. I feel like this couldn't have gone much worse, honestly. Yeah, tell me about it. Ferrari in disguise. Right, let's speed it up a little bit again, see what happens. Magnussen got around Hamilton. Magnussen ran wide, but I still couldn't catch up with him. Don't want to blow these tyres out, so we'll drop that down to there. Lewis got around Verstappen, who I'm guessing that was because of a pit. Yeah, so the standings are changing a little bit here because a lot of people are pitting. We got a lot of fuel saved up, so we can tell them to stop lifting and coasting. I'm a little bit concerned about Lewis's tyres here because they're I'm not convinced they're going to get to the end. He's got to do another 12 laps on him. He's already done almost 20 laps. He's got to do another 12 laps on him, and they've got 56% left. I just really don't want him to spin like George did. Ready to turn that off to balanced. Hamilton got around Sargent. Back to balanced. To neutral there. In fact, you can deploy that because you've got loads of battery saved up. 10 laps to go. Sainz got around Lewis, I know. But he's got fresher tyres. Perez got around Lewis. Is this because my tyres are falling off, like, rapidly here? I knew this would be a problem. I knew that this was going to be a problem. And he's, like, drastically struggling all of a sudden. I can't pit him, because then he'll come out dead last. I think I just have to sort of weather it at this point. Deploy the battery and try and use that to your advantage a little bit. Back to neutral there. Back to neutral. Right, let's get to like lap 48 or 49 and just see what happens. George dropped a place to Verstappen. But I'm going to get George to just blow his tyres out at this point, I think. Alonso got around Lewis. Push that. Push that. Standard, the tyres are... the tyres just aren't working whatsoever, really.
So it's hammer time.
It's hammer time. Final lap. This has been a really interesting sort of thing because it's not like I've had a really bad race in regard to incidents that have occurred and stopped me and slowed me down and whatnot. But like, Max hasn't been able to do anything. You know, Alonso's down here. In fact, Lewis is hunting Alonso. Oh, no, sorry. Alonso's hunting Sainz. That's probably quite a good little battle to follow for a moment. Can he do him on the final sort of corners? I think he has, hasn't he?
And it's Albon. Alex Albon
Yeah.
over the finish line first.
We've had a big crash here. Debris everywhere.
And there's been quite a crash.
Has? The Haas is just taking each other out.
So you've taken the flag.
So yeah, it's a really interesting sort of like thing to look at, isn't it? How you put everyone on even footing, and that's how they. That's how it works. Like,
Checkered flag is out.
I'd say the winners, looking back, like Leclerc obviously had a really good race because he even got that penalty and he finished in 8th. Perez climbed pretty well. Stroll is way higher than I thought he'd be, and I guess Ocon being in 2nd.
Well, that's another race
But
wrapped up for Lewis Hamilton.
Like, you know, if that happened, right, and I looked at it and went like, oh yeah, obviously I didn't do very well then because I only finished in 14th and 18th, and I'd be like, yeah, that's not so great. But when you also look and think that there's a Ferrari and an Aston Martin there, then you've got Max Verstappen down in 17th. Like, it's a really interesting sort of way to frame the experience, isn't it? But anyway, let's try another scenario. This time we'll try something that specifically asks us to do something. One of the shorter ones here. Here we go. So we've just had... Yeah, I made him use all his fuel, so he literally just got over the starting line, then ran out. Anyway, so we had the Belgian Grand Prix over the weekend that's just gone. So let's go to Spa-Francorchamps as the Williams. The idea here is either driver must finish higher than 4th somehow. So essentially, there's a lot of rain, and Sargent finds himself in P1 and Albon in P3. As the track dries out, make the right strategy calls to maintain your strong position. Okay, this is going to be interesting. So this is all about then. Oh my God, Verstappen, Leclerc, Hamilton, De Vries, and Ocon are all out of the race entirely. So, so what are we? We're all on wets right now, and this is going to be interesting. Basically speaking, how are we? It's definitely still a wet track, right? It's definitely, there's no one's arguing that. It's still a wet track. So, I'm not going to do anything yet. There's 2 minutes and then the weather sort of changes. So, let's speed it up just until... Just for a moment, and then we'll... Long laps over here at Spa-Francorchamps. Still raining. Do we... I think it's time to pit, isn't it, for Inters? So let's do that. Right, let's go. We've got these fresh Inters here, so... This lap. Oh, that's the wrong driver. I want this guy.
And we'll box this lap. Box.
Hey, what did I fit
Boxing for
in
the Inter.
We should be able to double stack and there shouldn't be a problem here. There's enough of a gap between the two of them, so... I'm hoping that by going in like a lap later almost will give me an opportunity here because of the fact that,
Everything you have now, mate, at that time.
yeah, I'm hoping that if I put him in a lap later, then it gives the track time to dry out just a little bit further. You can blow these these wets out as well on the way in. Bottom 4 are all on Inters, we're still on wets. Yeah, they're all still slow right now. What I don't want to do is pit too late and put the Inters on too late.
Pit entry.
Watch out on pit entry, slippery.
Copy that. Box.
Just be wary the pit entry is slippery.
Yeah.
Right, so Alex is coming out in 9th. Oh, I don't want to blow the tyres out. So, yeah. Sargent's still up in 4th, although he is being attacked right now by Norris and Sainz.
We think you can reduce lift and coast.
We've got 15 minutes to get to the end of this race. Let me speed up a little bit, see what happens. We can follow Sargent here. They're all pitting now, which is good. I think we nailed the pit here, exactly when we needed to.
So it's not raining in the pit lane.
Yep.
Let's speed that up a bit further. Get to like lap sort of 38. Sargent's setting a banging lap, which is good. He's out front still.
So what ERS?
I wasn't keeping an eye on my ERS, which is unfortunate.
I think the rain's coming down.
Okay.
Speed things up a little bit. Keep an eye on this here. See if we need to switch back to wets at all. Gasly got my guy, unfortunately, and now he's being hunted.
We want to leave court, please. I'm happy to lean more on the tires.
In fact, I think we can just tell them to push him in it. Albon's being attacked.
No rain expected. No rain expected.
No rain expected. Okay. It's going to be close. We just got to finish in the top 4, right, with one driver. So I'm basically banking on Sargent keeping that sort of 6.7 gap. 6.7 second gap between him and Sainz. Whatever happens with Stroll happens. I'm going to drop that down to aggressive because I don't want the tyres to warm up too much. Same for you.
Okay, back off.
You've got loads of fuel.
Let's reduce.
I'm not worried about him that much. It's more just that, you know, Spa's such a long lap that 6.7 seconds and 6 laps, like, you know, there's a world where something happens there.
Tires.
You can afford to drop back.
Yeah, Albon's doing wonders here. They're all they're all stuck behind him. Fortunately, we have a car that's very fast on the straights, right? So it makes it difficult to overtake on Spa, which is good.
Reduce the lift and co.
You can actually see Gasly up the road, which is good as well. Don't think he'll catch him, but he can still see him, which is nice. It's going to be interesting to see if any of these guys pull the triggers and switches to slick tires.
Copy.
Yeah, Sainz is flying now. Stroll's finally trying to make a move by the looks of things. Maybe not. Barouche. He's got me. He's gone. Surely he's got me. Yeah, I'm just interested to see what will happen if, like, say, Piastri at the back decides to run it.
Don't worry, that's fine.
Yeah, we're still on for a podium here if we can just keep this distance here. Tyres are cooling down a little bit, so I think I can switch him to be a bit aggressive now.
Pushing on.
Albon is doing absolute wonders keeping Russell, Perez and Alonso behind him right now. What a legend. I'm hoping that Stroll and Gasly fighting might bring Sargent back in the occasion. It switched to dry. Has anyone pulled the trigger on it? No. This is going to be really interesting to see if anyone does it.
GRS enabled.
Theoretically, how much quicker would a dry tyre be around Spa? I'm not going to do it, but, like, theoretically. He's doing it. They're doing it. All right. All right. I'm going to do it with Albon. Not with Sargent. He's staying out there. But Albon's going in, and I'm going to put softs on him. This is either going to work or it's not. I don't know. But I can't put Sargent in because he's going to be leading the race now. But if all these guys are coming in, then I want Albon to come in as well.
Box.
This is going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. George had a pit stop issue, which is good.
Exit.
Where's Alex? Aggressive, but not thingy for the moment. Now I need to go back to Sergeant just to keep an eye on him.
Oh,
Keep pushing.
Come on, here we go, boys. I'm going to speed up a little bit because we're running out of time and there's still a few laps left here, so. Sergeant pitted. Not Sergeant, sorry. Sainz pitted. Yeah, I should have brought him in. He's getting absolutely battered. I think it's too late now, but it doesn't matter. We've still got Gasly who's in the hunt. Did I set that? Still got Albon, right. Once we get to 42, I'll balanced. I'm gonna VSC.
There's a big crash.
Has he already come in?
Big
Oh,
crash
that was
on
such a disaster.
finish. A lot of debris.
Who crashed? Bottas and Magnussen.
Got a yellow flag here.
VSC. Keep the delta.
copy.
7 cars have retired from this race. Just speed this up a little bit. Time penalty for Magnussen, so that doesn't make a difference. Right, we're just gonna go. We're just go, Alex. Go, Alex. Go, Alex. Just see if you can do anything, mate. I think my flaw was not bringing in Sargent, but I to be honest, right, the track dried up so quickly that in like 2 laps it went from being damp to just completely dry. The thing about not bringing in Sargent though is that by the time that I decided to pit, he'd already been overtaken by 2 people on soft tires. Like if I didn't bring him in, he would have finished dead last. Like that's just it. So you know I should have brought him in when I brought in Albon, but I didn't because to be honest I didn't think that the soft tires would light up as quickly as they did. That was a wet track, and within like within like I don't know 2 laps it went from being wet to actually just dry. Yeah, the VSC did kind of fuck me a little bit, but you know, what can you do about that? So the key really is take your inters as soon as you can and then be aggressive with the softs. That's basically it. Assuming the weather stays and reflects this one.
VSC ending.
Copy.
And it's a win today for Lance Stroll.
Okay, check a flag. P5.
That was a good race. Well done, everyone.
Mega job.
I mean, you know, it's not exactly the race condition that I
Second
needed.
flag.
I finished a position below where I wanted to be, but
Everybody should be
um,
super proud of that.
Thank
but
you, guys.
I think if Williams got 5 and 8 in any race, they'd be very happy with it. We're just waiting for Oscar to come over the line. Here he comes. Come on, Oscar, bring it home.
There's Alex Albon making his way back.
A 5th place finish ensures they're taking away a fair few points.
I was close. I was close. That's not easy though. It's not an easy thing to do. Yeah, Alonso was just flying on that one lap, man. He was so much quicker than almost anyone. But anyway, yeah, they're pretty cool, aren't they, the little challenges? I mean, I'm not going to jump into another one now, but because we're a bit tight on time. And you know, I've only been playing the scenarios today. You can do the race replay where you literally just replay the seasons or start an actual career and go through all that stuff. You know, build a car and design it and all that good stuff. But I know there's quite a lot of interesting things. I think this Viva Las Vegas one would have been pretty cool to do. I don't actually know what it says. Must finish higher than 4th. That seems like a very challenging thing to do with a Haas, if you ask me, but interesting all the same. But yeah, I think that's a good place to wrap up. Yeah, that is F1 Manager 2023. You can play the game today on PC, PlayStation, and Xbox consoles. And if you want to, you know, read our full thoughts on it and see that and all that good stuff, you can do so on your local Game Reactor region. I love F1, and you know, I like that this game is sort of a bit of a change of pace from the actual sort of simulation racing side of things that's on the, you know, Codemasters series. It's definitely something that's quite different and new and or unique, should we say? And I appreciate it. You know, it's not easy being a manager, being a team principal, right? It's when you're in the car and you're just trying to beat the person in front of you. It's, I don't want to say it's easier, but I feel like it's less stressful than having to manage all the different components of strategy and go like, well, what are we doing with the rain here? Like, should we do it now or not? Should we pull the trigger on these tires? So. But yeah, that's all the time we have on F1 Manager today. We'll be back now. I say we'll be back. Rebecca will be handling the streams for the rest of the week as per usual. Tomorrow, I believe she's going to be taking a look at Venba, a little indie game. So yeah, if you're interested in checking that out, you can. The rest of the week, we have some Baldur's Gate stuff saved up for you. And something else down the line, I think, as well. So yeah, be sure to tune in at the usual time, 1500 BST, 1600 CEST, for some more GR Live goodness. Until then, though, thank you all for watching, and we'll see you all on the next episode. Take care, everyone.